and now his sister controls a robotic bed.
Fatality.
Hello and welcome to round 30 of Wake Up 3. We are your hosts, Molly
And Cam, and we are a fighting game podcast from a couple who loves fighting games.
2023 will go down in history as a major year for fighting games. From reveals to releases, the FGC's metaphorical cup is and has been overflowing. It is with much joy that we honor the good, the bad, and of course, the weird of the fighting game genre. Welcome to the Wake Up 3 2023 Fighting Game Awards. Every game has its beginning push. From the first reveal to the final trailer, promotional campaigns can define the future success of a title.
The nominees for Best Promotional Campaign are Street Fighter VI with its Chipotle and Ninja Turtles crossovers, Tekken 8 with its character trailers and Harada hype, Killer Instinct with its 10-year anniversary update.
The winner for Best Promotional Campaign goes to
Street Fighter VI.
Woo! Yay, Street Fighter 6.
I thought the Chipotle crossover was incredibly innovative.
Very successful.
I've never seen that in a fighting game, and it got us to go to Chipotle a couple of times.
A few times.
Yeah.
More than ever before. Big success there.
Excellent promotion. I thought it was cool.
How did I ever live without it? In a genre as long-standing as fighting games, the pool of games undiscovered goes deeper than you think. But with each passing year, you find another old game that calls to your soul.
The nominees for Best Fighting Game Discovered in 2023 are Street Fighter III, Third Strike, and Samurai Showdown, just in general.
And the winner of Best Fighting Game Discovered in 2023 goes to
Samurai Showdown. Ever since discovering this game, I've been obsessed with it.
Dressing Up and Dressing Down, the highly anticipated Costume 3 for Street Fighter VI came to play. Or get married, or train, or just lounge about.
The nominees for Best DLC Costume for Street Fighter VI are Jury, DJ, Cammy, Ken, Minone.
And the winner of Best DLC Costume of Street Fighter VI goes to
Jury in her pajama onesie.
Surprise! We love it.
We love it.
So,
It's great. It
gotta
looks
give
cozy.
it to Jury.
I think I would buy one if they put it in the Capcom store. It's excellent.
Sometimes all it takes is one voice, one brave soul to speak up for the betterment of mankind and say, we should make Reptile wear striped stockings. With perhaps an indecisive start, MK1 has come to prove that they have the creativity, uniqueness, nerve, and talent to craft some truly opulent skins.
The nominees for Best DLC Costume for Mortal Kombat 1 are Christmas Katana, Deadly Alliance Scorpion, Elf Reptile.
And the winner of Best DLC Costume of Mortal Kombat 1 goes to
Santa's Helper Reptile.
Yay!
I
Who
feel-
would have thought?
I feel like it's gotta be.
This is a tough category because they really did put their best foot forward after a bit and give us some really great skins in MK1. Who would have thought from the beginning, from the way things started, that we would end up with little elf reptile.
Right.
And end up being a skin that I said I would buy regardless of who it went on. It's just that good of a skin.
Right.
So.
And the fact that they gave him a sugar cookie design for his giant lizard form, great. That's the icing on the cake. Or the cookie.
DLC. It can make or break, temporarily, the roster. The hype gets unreal for these lucky few. But one DLC character's hype eclipsed all others this year.
The nominees for most hype DLC character are Quan Chi, Rashid, and Aki.
And the winner of most hype DLC character goes to
Quan Chi. Quan Chi had quite the revamp since MKX when he last appeared. He's got a whole new set of powers. He's still got the portals, of course, but now he's got tentacles and all sorts of fun stuff. A claw cage that comes out of the ground. That's cool. They just made him so much cooler than he already was. And with his addition in the story, I couldn't wait until he showed up. I was absolutely looking forward to him from day one.
the hated and the despised. It seems that for every low-tier hero, there is a sinister shadow that should never have slipped out of development's grasp. A threat so great, it incites rage quits, character crises, and more unthinkable dooms.
The nominees for Most Broken Character are Johnny Cage, Omni-Man, and JP.
The Most Broken Character award goes to
Johnny Cage. That's right.
Now, that's a tough category, I have to say, but I think Johnny takes the cake because even with patches, SF6 hasn't had patches yet, so we can't really say, they've had the chance to make JP not broken.
Right.
But MK1 has had the chance to please nerf Johnny Cage into the ground, and they have not done so still.
Yeah, it's actually wild to me because he's had 2 nerfs so far, and it's still not enough. Every day I see on social media another person posting, new Johnny combo discovered, or new route, it's an optimal, it does 57% damage, and I can't believe we're letting him get away with this for this long.
It's a bit much.
It is a little bit much.
The FGC walks a thin tightrope when it comes to nerfs. Who deserves them, and how badly? But all too often, the devs take to nerfing with reckless abandon. Nerfs so shattering that leave us asking, what did this character personally do to you?
The nominees for Worst Nerf are Baraka, Cyrex, and Raiden.
The Worst Nerf award goes to
Baraka.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hope I don't sound biased here as a Baraka man.
Baraka was spotlighted from day one, from before the game even came out fully, I would say. There were far too many people online exposing Baraka's high damage from the get-go. Yeah. And I think in regards to that, fuck all y'all, because you're the reason Baraka suffered the worst first nerf. No going back. We're driving this character into the ground.
Yeah, Baraka was exposed very early on, and with the very first MK1 patch, he was nerfed pretty heavily. Since it was the first patch, I have a very hard time seeing them moving back on that and giving him the buff that he deserves. So, that's a big bummer.
Make it the same, but different. Many characters return again and again, but only some receive the star treatment and truly get award-worthy upgrades.
The nominees for Best Character Upgrade are Garrus in MK1, Lee May in MK1, and Luke in Street Fighter 6.
The Best Character Upgrade award goes to
Garrus in Mortal Kombat 1. This was difficult because Alex Lee as Luke, perfect.
Peak.
It's great. Love it. But Garrus just had that much better of an upgrade. He got a new voice actor, Phil Lamar. Love him. He got...
Iconic.
Yeah, great. Wonderful. He got a new and improved...
I'm biased, but...
little bit, Codal player. He got a move upgrade. I feel like all of his moves look so much cooler than they used to.
You are right. He is definitely the most well-rounded option here. Everything they decided to do for Garrus in MK1, wow, nailed it.
Peak.
Hit it out of the park.
Perfect.
Truly. Congratulations, Garrus and Phil Lamar.
Gonna have to pick up Garrus, I swear. We were playing random sets recently, and I played Garrus for the very first time
Shocking.
in this game a couple of days ago, and I loved it. From like 5 seconds into the match, I'm like, holy shit, he feels good. So, absolutely Garrus.
On the flip side here, for every stellar upgrade, there are some truly unfortunate downgrades to match. Whether it be a personality shift, moveset change, or aesthetic redesign, some things are best left alone.
The nominees for Character Downgrade of the Year are Tanya, Smoke, Scorpion, and Raiden.
And the Character Downgrade of the Year award goes to
Smoke. It is with a heavy heart that I give Smoke this award because I love him in MK9. I love his robot form more than any other fighting game character in existence. And I don't particularly care for the new direction in MK1 of him being younger, being... I don't know what he is exactly. There's something about it that I don't vibe with. And for that, I have to give him the Downgrade of the Year award.
a quick change of pace here to break things up. The craft of character creation presents many challenges, but its most defining stage comes down to a single sound, the voice. It can truly make or break even the strongest of designs, which is why we must give honor to the many actors who put their heart into portraying such a crucial role. 2023 was filled with many talented voice actors who truly embraced their character and used their skills to not only bring them to life, but to perfect exactly who they are through the way they speak, yell, laugh, and how they do all of those things. The magic of their voices brings ordinary dialogue to life, and with every inflection, they convince us so well that this is Johnny Cage. This is how Ken would say, "Gotta do this." This is the way Luke would sing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. Join us now in celebrating the many greats of fighting game voice actors in 2023.
There are many more than what I've got here, but some of the highlights include Steve Bloom as Baraka, Phil Lamar as Garrus, Andrew Bowen as Johnny Cage, Gary Walgren as Katana and Melina, Kelly Hu as Lee May, Mara Juno as Sindel, Yuri Lowenthal as Smoke, Kaiji Tang as Sub-Zero, Alex Lee as Luke, Kyle Hebert as Ryu, and Stephen Fu as Jamie.
All right, back to our categories, our awards. We just wanted to honor those many talents that really showed up this year and gave us an excellent feast for the ears and an excellent way to connect to these characters and really know who they are. So, thank you guys. For fighting games, it's the little details that help define a character most. The way Kung Lao tips his hat, the slight smirk Queen Sindel flashes, or even Stryker's shit-eating grin as he blows the opponent to smithereens. All contribute to solid characterization.
The nominees for Best Characterization are Juri, Bihan, Johnny Cage, Sindel, and Melina.
And the Best Characterization Award goes to
Bihan. It's gotta be Bihan.
It's the Bihan era, baby. He's back.
That's right.
And he is solidly Bihan.
He's great.
We are very pleased.
Yeah, he's great. I feel like I can't imagine a better voice for this iteration of Sub-Zero. It's perfect, and I can't wait to see what they do with him in the eventual story update.
I just got this fighting game, but what else can I do besides fight? Over the years, fighters have evolved from more than just running sets. They have expanded, branching out into new modes that appeal to a wider player base. 2023 is of course no exception, with increasing innovations to what fighting games have to offer.
The nominees for Best New Mode are Street Fighter VI World Tour, Street Fighter VI Battle Hub, or Mortal Kombat 1 Invasions.
And the Best New Mode award goes to
the Battle Hub for Street Fighter VI. That's goofy. It's not something they had to add to the game, but it works. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent. Congrats to Street Fighter VI for having a great new mode. Love to see it. By the latter half of the year, it was hard not to look around and see Ken. Thanks, Barbie. To the world of fighting games, this struck a few familiar chords. Now the question remains, are you going to Ken as hard as you can? Or are you going to stand back and let Sento do all of the work for you?
The nominees for Best Ken are Ken Masters and Kenshi and his Sento Blade.
The award for Best Ken goes to
Ken Masters.
Yeah. Ken, how did you get this award?
Well, I just had to do this.
He's got to do it.
He's got to do this.
Why does Ken win? He's got to do it.
He cans as hard as he possibly can at all times.
Plus,
full screen? Sure you can. Doesn't matter. That's Ken.
Now, if Kenshi and Ken fought, who would win?
I mean, it would be 2-on-1, but like, I don't know. I feel like Ken would probably still win.
Yeah, Ken's a criminal.
Yeah, Ken is a terrorist now, right?
Yeah, a terrorist of all kinds of criminals. A terrorist.
That's pretty bad. How is Ken going to come back from that? Is there going to be like DLC about Ken?
One Ken hope. If you're not with Ken, you might just be a Gen. Some might say that gens are just as important to the fabric of fighting games, and we might be inclined to agree with them.
The nominees for Best Jin are Jin Kazama, Devil Jin, and Jin Saotome from Cyberbots.
And the award for Best Jin goes to...
What's this? Jinpachi Mishima? How'd that get in here?
All of the other nominees have been cast to the side in a surprise win.
Jinpachi always wins.
Accepted. A brand new character has the unique opportunity to breathe life into a dusty old roster. The risk can be great, but the payoff when received well can be greater.
The nominees for Best New Character are Jamie, Manon, and Aki.
All from Street Fighter VI.
That is right.
And the award for Best New Character goes to...
Jamie! Now why did we choose Jamie?
The top player is here.
He's here, that's right. He's got some sort of relation to Yun and Yang.
Yes.
A little bit of each of their moves. He brings the drunken fighting style into Street Fighter for the very first time, which is pretty cool. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, for that, he gets New Character of the Year.
Congratulations, Jamie. Fresh young fighters are a dime a dozen in this genre, but a seasoned veteran with the wrinkles to prove it are few and far between.
The nominees for Best Old Man are JP, Victor, the old man version of Shang Tsung, and Garrus.
And the award for Best Old Man goes to...
Garrus! He's the oldest one! He's been around since the beginning of time.
Keeper of Time. Infinite Garrus. He's
Infinite
so
Garrus.
old. He's older than any of these guys.
That's right, so... He's the best. He's seen it all. He's done it all.
Is Jinpachi coming back to steal another award? No? Are we good? Okay.
Maybe
cool.
in 2024.
Yeah.
I hope we can say that Jinpachi is Old Man of the Year next year.
But for this year, congratulations, Garrus. And you do have the wrinkles to prove it. They're just cracks.
That's right.
The elusive NPC, an even more rare occurrence in fighting games, but one that has grown in numbers over the years. A great NPC can elevate a good story into a great story, and 2023 provided us with a solid host of these supportive characters.
The nominees for Best NPC are Madame Bo from the Mortal Kombat 1 story, Azam, the bodyguard to Rashid, and the guy that gets pushed by Shao Kahn at the Sun Do Festival.
The award for Best NPC goes to
Madame Bo. She really went through it. She got thrown through a balcony and fell on a table 2 stories down. All for an act to make sure that the Shaolin boys were ready for their journey. For that, she gets NPC of the Year.
Some fighting game characters bring more to the fight than just their fists. Or feet. Looking at you, Jerry. From whips, chains, grenades, or even a Batman puppet with a gun in its mouth, weapons continue to hold a special place in fighting games.
The nominees for Best Weapons-Based Character are Victor, Lily, General Shao, and Ashra.
And the award for Best Weapons-Based Character goes to
Ashra.
Tatosha!
Yeah, how could it not? Her weapon has a name. And it may sound a little bit like a trailer park name when you say it in a certain way, but it's the only one with a name.
Congratulations to Tusha and Ashra. We promised weird. 2023 delivered many strange characters, both old and new.
The nominees for Best Oddball Character are Baraka from Mortal Kombat, Blanca from Street Fighter, and Bedman from Guilty Gear Strive.
The award for Best Oddball Character goes to
Bedman? You may wonder why I keep saying it in this way. It's because there's a question mark on the end of his name. Because Bedman was a previous character in the older games. He died, and then his spirit came back and attached itself to a robotic bed. And now his sister controls a robotic bed. And that's Bedman? So for that, Oddball Character of the Year.
Definitely takes the cake there.
Absolutely.
Definitely takes the gold, the win.
Definitely.
Stage design can be just as crucial to the game as the characters themselves. In 2023, fighting game developers continued to push the boundaries of all that stage design encompasses, bringing us some of the richest stages yet.
The nominees for Best Stage are The Corrupted Forest from Mortal Kombat 1, Cage Mansion from Mortal Kombat 1, and Dulcimer Temple, Street Fighter 6.
And the award for Best Stage goes to
The Corrupted Forest.
A classic returns, re-envisioned.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You get the living forest in the game as well, and it looks beautiful here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a corrupted version that's story-based, and wow, does it look cool.
Perhaps the most important contribution to the ambience of an environment and game as a whole is the music. It paints a picture in our minds of the world these characters live in and experience, and just by hearing it, we are there experiencing that world too.
The nominees for Best Soundtrack are Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6.
The award for Best Soundtrack goes to
Mortal Kombat 1.
The music is pretty rich, so
Right.
well done. All right, the time has now come. Thanks to 2023, the FGC's hearts, hands, and heads are full of new combos, new tech, and a reignited love for the genre. But this is no double KO. Here stands one clear winner, one champion above all other contenders.
The nominees for Best Fighting Game are Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6.
And the award for Best Fighting Game goes to
Street Fighter 6.
Yes, Street Fighter 6 wins.
Yes, and this may come to a surprise
If
to people that listen to us specifically, because we love MK1. We love MK in general. That's our number one fighting game franchise. But Street Fighter 6 really delivered a better package this year, especially right at launch. It felt more complete. It felt like there was a lot more to do even in single player. And they really haven't touched it in terms of patches because they seem to have faith in it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a more complete game at this point, and especially at launch. And for that, Street Fighter 6 gets Fighting Game of the Year.
That is not all for our awards show.
We have one more.
As our first half year of the Wake Up 3 podcast comes to a close, we wish to thank all those that have joined our ride thus far and given us a chance in 2023. There is one listener who has been with us since the early days, whose comments and support have inspired us to keep going and keep sharing our passion for the genre. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to our 2023 Listener of the Year, Adolfo.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting. I wanted to share one comment that really meant a lot to both of us. Here it is. I've been playing more with open world SF6 than Invasions. It's better, TBH. But because of y'all, I'm about to buy Tekken. Also, man, those questions in the beginning got me too. Love the pod. My love for FG has gone up. And that part just meant so much.
This is our big spotlight to Adolfo, and just want to say thank you so much. You're the best.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening always. And we also wanted to give a shout out because he has a great YouTube channel, Romez Guide. Check it out. Throw him a subscribe. He's a super awesome member of the FGC, and he's actually covering a lot of the MKX comic series. So check him out.
Yeah, so thank you.
Follow Romez Guide.
That actually concludes our awards ceremony. Thank you so much for everybody that has tuned in this year. And we hope you'll stick around with us as we continue doing these weekly.
Not the award shows, but the podcast will continue.
Absolutely.
We will be taking a New Year's respite, if you will, but we'll still be sharing some fun kind of mini-sodes that aren't really a lot of content, but hopefully you'll enjoy some fun uploads from us while we're working on some new episodes and some updates for the podcast. So, hope you've enjoyed our very first Fighting Game Awards. We look forward to doing this next year and seeing how 2024's categories and everything look.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I guess with that, this concludes our 2023 Fighting Game Awards.
I think that's pretty much it for the year. So, thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks to everybody who's listened this year, and hope you'll be here next year. And have a happy and safe New Year. Make sure the first thing you do in 2024 is press buttons.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Wake Up 3. You can follow along on Twitter at Wakeup3FGC or on YouTube and Spotify at Wakeup3. I'm your host Cam, and you can find me at Big Ruck Online on all social media.
And I'm your host Molly, and you can find me on Twitter at Concut, that's KAHNKUT, or on PlayStation, that's Jan Michaels.
This is Wake Up 3 signing off.
Bye.
You shit's not what you think.